Hi my friends, it's Alex Davison with you today. Well, as you know, on our channel we're trying to give you as much information as it is possible on immigration and visas, and of course where it's possible we're trying to give you sort of inside information of what are the plans of the Ministry of Citizenship and Immigration, how immigration would look in the future, how visas to Canada would look in the future. This video is fully based on the extract from the ministerial bulletin, the one which is spread amongst the lawyers and certified immigration specialists. So that is not something available for the mass public. Therefore, well, you could consider it as a sort of insight. Now, this is all prediction for the future, but just to give you an idea what ministry is working on right now. Ministry of Citizenship and Immigration is working on electronic travel authorization. You probably know that for visa-free countries, if you want to travel to Canada, you still have to receive so-called electronic travel authorization letter. This is usually a simple letter which grants you and gives you an idea that you do not expose or pose any threat for Canada and you're allowed to travel to Canada. So this ETA, electronic travel authorization, is planned to be implemented for visa-required countries as well. Moreover, data predictive team or data analysis and predictive team is right now working on intellectual system which would work, I would say, as an analysis tool which will just analyze the whole application and give its own recommendation, if you will, to visa officers whether the person from visa required country poses no additional threat to Canada and his or her chance of receiving a visa is high or low. If it's high, visa officer would probably just make a positive decision and that's it, the case would be closed. If the chance is low, additional visa officers' attention would be required. It is expected that this measure would allow visa officers to focus and concentrate more on difficult cases instead of just working manually on those which are sent on a regular basis and focusing more on people who require their attention instead of those whose chances of getting visa are quite high. It does not necessarily mean that, guys, you would be expecting to lift, say, a requirement for travel to Canada from India, from China and other countries, but that are the plans in the future, right? It would happen one by one. In our next video, I would talk about the Eastern Europe, and there are certain movements in Eastern Europe as well. Now, speaking about additional staff and additional future, this system would also work, and again, it's expected that the system would also work on express entry, on study permits, on visa status extension, and of course, as I said, on temporary visas. So again, it will probably lead to faster processing time for those where attention is not required, for those who do not pose additional threat to Canada and whose chances of getting visa to Canada are quite high. Minister of Citizenship and Immigration has also said that they are working on information exchange with other countries. We spoke before about the fact that, look, lying about the previous refusals to United States, to Europe, to other developed countries is not a good idea because visa officers would be able to check it. So the idea of Ministry of Citizenship and Immigration is to get that information exchange agreement with all the countries in the world, which probably means that in the next 2 years, if everything goes fine, Canada would have an idea of previous refusals and previous visa applications for every country in the world. For you, well, it simply means that you have to disclose information and be honest as much as possible applying for a visa. More additional info, more, I would say, insight, well, stay tuned with our channel, our context at the end of the video.